Hello guys, this is Joyce from Enjoy Scrappins 2. So this is part 2 of our mini album series. So this is where we left off. So hopefully you have something that looks similar like this. I thought I mentioned it while we were making the hinge that initially I said 5 by 11 1/4, but then I said to cut off a slight sliver off of the end so that these bags will fit into the hinge. So I just wanted to make that clear so that you're not confused. So it's not 5 inches in a way, because you want to make it 4 by 7 1/8 of an inch. 4 by 7 1/8 of an inch by 11 1/4. Excuse me. So because I was having when we were trying to put this pocket into the hinge, it was getting caught. So you can see that I cut a little bit off. I just cut maybe 1/8 of an inch off, and that is perfect. Okay, so now that we have this, we're gonna start making our tags and our additional flaps. So like I mentioned in the first video, I have absolutely no samples of this. We're making it as we go, so you know, we'll make it together. So keep that in mind. And then also, I thank you guys so much for such a wonderful comment. You guys are awesome. And so let's get started. So now that we have this part, I'm gonna use a 12 by 12 to make our tags. I'm gonna make the tags and the additional flaps using this color, because I don't want everything to be all black, but you can definitely make them all black if you like. Okay, and also I forgot to mention, hold on, I'll be back. Okay, so normally when I make a paper album, mini album like so, I usually pick up the 12 by 12 pattern paper, and then whatever, usually a collection that you choose will have a 12 by 12 and or an 8 by 8 or a 6 by 6 pad also that coordinates with that pad. So normally when I make a mini, I usually pick up the 12 by 12 as well as a 8 by 8 and a 6 by 6 along with the embellishments. That just makes it a lot easier to coordinate and for decoration purposes. So this specific excuse me, line didn't have the 8.5 or the 12 by 12. I'm sorry, 6 by 6. So I went ahead and just picked up one of these. So this is same, the graphic 45 line. I believe this is called World's Fair. So there's so many different collections of graphic 45 available in the store, and they also have the brand new ones that they just released. So if you're using any of those, you'll be able to pick up a smaller pattern paper, either a 6 by 6 or an 8 by 8. This is helpful when we're making little like a little, what is that, a little pocket for our tags, because if we're embellishing like little areas like this, when we're making like a little pocket for our little journaling tag, something like this is very useful because of the fact that the prints are a lot smaller, the smaller scale than like a 12 by 12. It's helpful. You don't need it, but it's helpful. So that's up to you how you want to go about doing that. But that's what I picked up, because this is basically just general, pretty, you know, it's not too busy, simple, but the colors will coordinate very well because I'm using the graphic 45 line. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly mention that. And sorry, as we go, like, you know, I'm telling you, it's helpful to pick up this and that, and that's because I don't have a sample for this, and we're doing it as we you know, today's Tuesday. I uploaded the first video yesterday, which is Monday. So here I am Tuesday. And I said to pick up, it would be helpful to pick up some Rangers tags, number 12. But I recommend a number 10 because this is a little bit bigger. You see that? It's slightly bigger than our album. So if you're making a bigger album, this is perfect. But I think a number 10 tags would be perfect. So let's get started. Okay. So I've done nothing since yesterday. So this is it, guys. So I have some idea of some flaps over here. So we said that we were gonna make 3 tags and 3 pull-out tabs. Okay, that's why we didn't put this notch here. That's because, but you can definitely do so. So let's go ahead and make our tags. So we're gonna make 3 tags, and this tag will measure, let's see if I can get you, it would be 8 inches by 4 7/8. You see the 4 7/8, that's gonna be the same size as our binding. Okay, so I'm gonna be making 3 of those. So let's get our paper trimmer, whichever trimmer that you have, and then we're gonna make them. Okay, this is a 12 by 12, so we want to get the most out of our paper. Excuse me. So what I'll do is I'll cut it down to 8. Excuse me. I just came back from the doctor's office. I had a doctor's appointment today. So I'm gonna cut it to, just to make sure. This is going to be, I'm going to cut it down at 8. Okay, and you want to use a thick cardstock for this, guys, because like this one, I didn't use a thick cardstock because this was just a sample. So I used a lighter weight, but you can see how it can like flap. So it's best to use heavy cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and do 4 7/8. Okay, we're gonna cut 3 of these, and then we'll have like paper left over, and we can use these. Sorry, guys. So I got 1 here, 2 here. So let's make our 3rd. And for the 3rd one, I'm gonna cut it at 4 7/8 first. Okay, and then 8, because that'll give us a bigger leftover, so we can use to make flaps and additional pockets and things. Okay, so there is our tags, I should say. So I like to round my corners for these. It's like one of the must-have tools is one of these corner chompers. This is excellent because it cuts through chipboard, as well as I believe like metal, so it's pretty heavy duty stuff. One of these and one of these, a crocodile. These are really helpful if you want to put eyelets and things like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and corner all 3, and I'm gonna use a 1/4 inch. You see how easily it can cut through. And this is 100-pound basil cardstock. It's a heavyweight, and it cuts all three at the same time. You don't need to. You can cut one at a time if you like. It's just faster for me this way. Okay. And now you have to decide how you want to make your tabs. I have a tab punch from Stampin' Up! That I use, but you don't have to use that. You can make your own. There's other punches available for tags. I know I have another one. That's what I use in the other albums, but I can't find them right now. Oh, here it is. So you can use like a tab punch. You can cut it with your electronic cutting machines. If you don't have any of those, you can use your circle punch. Okay, and how you would do that if you're using a circle punch, let me get a scrap paper here. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So then you would punch out two. Okay, you can fold this and make a one tab if you like. Okay, you can fold it and make a one tab, or you can glue it down together like this. Okay, if you glue it down like this, halfway, make sure it's even halfway. Once we mat the paper, this is not going to show, and it's just going to give you this tab. Okay, so you could do it that way. Okay, so two circle punches and glue them together like this. So once we mat it, it's not going to show. You're only going to get the half. You can use actually many different punches for this. Doesn't really matter. You just want something to grab. I've done in the past where I've done it this way as well, but kind of awkward, yeah, unless you want to cut it in half and then stick it on this way. So up to you how you want to do your tabs and what color you want to make your tabs. Excuse me. I'm going to use black here. I think I already punched some out. Yeah, so I punched some out here. I gotta like put things back, sorry. Okay, so, and then we're gonna mark our center. Where is my ruler? Here it is. Alright, let's, oops, wrong way. Let's see where our center is. You just want to make sure it's even on the both ends. So it's gonna be roughly, you're not gonna be able to get a perfect center maybe, because this is 4 7/8. So I would say maybe 2 3/8 would be our center. Okay, go ahead and mark that. Okay, and then we're gonna glue these down. Okay, use a strong glue for this, guys, because this is gonna be constantly being touched. So I'm gonna use my, I have multi-matte medium in this. Because it's a little bit on the thick side, I did add a little bit of water so that it can come out easier. Not too much water. Okay. You can put it all the way if you like. I'm gonna attach it completely. Oops. Make sure it's straight. Am I off? Okay, so put on all the tabs and then I'll meet you back, okay? Okay, got 3 tags now. Should look like this, and they fit perfectly into our pockets. So we have 3 every other. I wanted it every other. Here's 1 tag, 2, 3 every other. Okay, so now that we have that tag, let's go ahead and make our flap. Okay, so this is the flap that's gonna get tucked in like a tag, but this is gonna be on the outside. This will give us 4 additional photo mats or journaling. Okay, so love these tabs. So what we're gonna do is cut it You can use 8.5 by 11 for this if you like, guys. So the leftover piece here, cut off the little strip at the end. Okay, so the leftover piece is about, should be 7 1/8. I don't wanna, I'm gonna use a new one. Because I want to cut it to 8.5. This is a 12 by 12. So if you have 8.5, obviously you don't have to cut it 8.5. Okay. So we're gonna cut it again at 4 7/8, same as our tag size. So you're gonna go ahead and cut 2. Okay. I hate it when the trimmer is like a slightly off. It's really it's irritating for me. Slightly off. Okay, so you have 2 here. This measures 8.5 by 4 7/8. On one of them, you're gonna cut the 1/2 inch off. So you're making it into an 8. So on one of them is going to be 8 by 4 7/8. Okay, so we're gonna fold this and stick them together. Okay, So get out your bone folder, your scoring tool, and then we're gonna go ahead and score it at 1/2 inch. Make sure it's flushed. Okay. And this will give us our place to adhere the tags together. Because obviously there's no paper that measures this long. So you're gonna have to create it together. Okay, what I like to do is put the folded side at the top and glue it like this, which will give us our flap. Okay, the reason why I want my tab one on top is because when you open it, you're gonna get that little thing, and I don't want this to catch on when you're putting it in. Okay, I don't want it, wrong one. I don't want it to catch when you're putting it in, because we're going to be matting. Once this is matted, this is going to be flushed and you will no longer have this little flap. That's why I want my folded side glued to the top. Okay, so bring out your score tape. And you want to cover this completely if you can. Can't really see the fold. Sorry. You don't want to go right to the fold line now. You want to be just a tiny bit below the fold line. What I mean by that, you see that little tiny little gap right there? So if you can, try to put your tape on when it's folded so it's flushed to the top. Okay. And because this strip is smaller than my tape, we'll go ahead and cut this to the edge. I'm gonna take this off and then put tape right there, just so that I have everything covered. Again, cut it off so that it's flush to the end. Okay, but I do want to put a little notch there so this thing doesn't get caught, even though we're kind of we're gonna make it rounded. It's still, if it sticks out to the top, sometimes that gets caught. So I am going to cut this off. Sorry. Okay, go ahead and take that flap off and then line it up at the bottom here. Okay, line it up at the bottom. You can even line it up, make sure it's lined up, tuck it in, and then stick it down. Okay, so that'll ensure that it's even at the end right here, because even if a little bit sticks out at the top because like the measurement was off a little bit, you can cut that off right there. I don't know if you can see that little tiny little sliver. You can leave it if you want to. That bothers me. I gotta cut that off. Make sure you're not cutting your fold line now if you decide to cut it. I had a little bit left over, probably because of my trimmer. Okay, so it's flushed. Okay, now we have our flap. You can leave it like this if you like. I'm gonna round it. Again, I'm gonna use a 1/4 inch for all my corner rounding. Just gives it a clean, like, I don't know, it just looks better. I feel like you don't have to. You can keep yours just as is. Okay, there is our flap. So that's gonna go in here. I haven't decided if I want to put a notch on this little, but we can, and we still can do so later. Okay, go ahead and stick that in, and that will be like so. Okay, so we have our tab, and then we have our pull-out flap. Okay, so go ahead and make 2 more, and then I'll meet you back. Okay. All right, guys. So this is something. This is what you should have. Something like this so far. Okay. So the first one, we're gonna have a pull-out tab here. The second one, this is a regular tag. And then the second one is going to be our pull-out tab, and which folds over like this. This will give us 4 photo mats. This will give us 2, 1 on each side. That's why mini albums are so fun, because you can put so much pictures in it, because you can add so many additions to it. I think that's why it's so fun. So here is our second pull-out tag. And then here we have our little flap that we made, remember? And then we have last our pull-out tab. Okay? So, like that. So far. So now, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Okay. So for the sample, kind of like a sample, I was thinking maybe we'll have this feature right here. So what this will give us, again, additional 4 photo mat areas. If you don't want to even glue this down all the way, you can even have like a pocket or something. If you want to flip it and do it at the bottom, then you can make yourself a little pocket as well. Okay, so I thought maybe I would do the first one like this, and then maybe we'll do it first one like that, and then maybe we'll do it over here to pull out at the bottom, and maybe keep that tag right there. So let's try to create that. Oops, it like folded. Okay. Excuse me. So I put over here same size as the album. Okay, why? Because this part doesn't need to get tucked into anything in here. So you want this to cover completely from top to bottom, as well as the side. So I put same size as the album. Okay. So this basically is, let's see how much it measures. Didn't put the measurement? Guess not. Okay, so this is 11 right here. So if you're using an 8.5 by 11, you would do it identically like the pockets we created. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So I didn't pick up an 8.5 by 11 size for this. I just picked up the 12 by 12. Let's see how much this. I have like so many trimmers right here. It's always next to me. My trimmers are right next to me. I have many trimmers because some don't cut straight. And I wanted to use my Caterpillar Pro, but that's kind of big, so you know I can't. It's easier for a smaller. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this down to, let's see, it's gonna be 8.5 by 11. So let's cut it to 8.5. If you have 8.5 by 11, go ahead and make the that flap just like we did for the pockets. So 8.5 by 11, and we scored it at 5 and at 10, giving us 1 inch area to for the flap. Because this flap is gonna flap at the top, I'm gonna keep it as 11. But for my other one, I'm gonna keep it probably at 11.5. I'll show you what I mean by that. I should just cut it already. Let's see. Ooh, I only have 2 pages left. Okay. So then that's okay. Let's do this first, because I only have 2 paper left of the 12 by 12. So we're gonna go ahead and score this just like we did for our album pocket. Scored at 5 and at 10. Sometimes when you're scoring thick cardstocks, if you're not using like a bone folder like this, a good bone folder is crucial when you're making mini albums, because that's going to give you really crisp straight edges, as well as it would all match. If you're having issues, because sometimes when it's thick, when you're trying to score it, it kind of goes with the grain of the paper. If that happens to you, go ahead and get like a wax paper and then just rub over it, and then go ahead and score, and that will glide right to the line instead of following the paper grain. So that's one tip. Oops. All right. So let's do the folding just like we did for our pocket. This bone folder is awesome, guys. You gotta. It's a little bit pricey, but there's a reason why it's pricey, because they are the most awesome bone folder ever. Okay, go ahead and crease that. crease that well. Okay, so now we're left with this 1-inch flap. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and crease it both ways. This is a thick cardstock. You want it to be able to fold. Go ahead and score this as well, the opposite way. Okay, and then we're gonna attach this to here, your first page, the back of your first pocket. Okay, so just like with the other pockets, so it's gonna be, okay, it's gonna be like this. You see that fold right there? This is gonna go other way, so you're gonna fold it this way, and because we're gonna attach this at the top right here, so that when it's closed it looks like one, and then when you open it you will get, yeah. So this is where you can decide if you want this at the top or you can do it at the bottom. Either way is fine. You see that? Either way is okay. Okay, maybe for this too. See, I don't like that small of a pocket there. Maybe we can put some couple tags in here. Okay, let's go ahead and change it up and do it at the bottom over here. Okay, so for this bottom, I want to leave it as a pocket there. So we're only going to put tape on 3 sides. Over here, and over here. I mean on the opposite side. I'll show you. So you have it like this. It's going to be like this. Okay, so this is our flap. Okay. Let's put a notch on there so that this is a thinking process, guys. That's why you can customize it however way you wish, because all these ideas will start coming to your head once you start getting started. Like, oh, maybe I could do this. Oh yeah, maybe I could do this. So that's why it's pretty cool. That's why the possibilities are endless, guys. I try to mark the center here, but I did it wrong. Where's my eraser? Let's see. So the center will be 4 1/4. I'm gonna put a little notch right there. I'm not gonna go all the way in. I'm not even gonna go half. That's too much. Maybe 1/4, maybe 1/3. I'm sorry, 1/3 way, like that. Okay, so there's our pocket. So far, that's all we have, right? Okay. Everything can, okay. For this part, if you're gonna go ahead and distress all of the edges here, you need to do it first. for the flap because we're gonna attach it. You can't do it later. So if you're planning to distress all the edges, you need to do this beforehand. I plan to distress it with the vintage photo. Vintage photo. Yeah, let's just do vintage photo. Get my favorite tool. I'm sure you guys have one of these around. So I'm gonna go ahead and vintage it up right there. We're going to be matting this, but I want to go ahead and distress all of mine, the chocolate malt one. Because the video was so long, the first one an hour I believe, actually hour and like almost 20 minutes. It was like hour and 17 minutes or something like that. It took forever to upload. I think this camera can record about an hour and a half. So if you want to distress right here too, go ahead and do so. The others, we can distress it later if you like, but I mean, if you're doing this, you might as well do it while you're doing it. I like that. This color scheme will match perfectly to the paper line that I chose out. So this all depends on the paper line that you chose out. I'm gonna be distressing this, all the tags that's in here, that's this color. Okay, let me do this off camera and come back. Okay, so it's gonna get stuck down like this, and then this is gonna go up, and then this is gonna fold down. So make sure you, if you're gonna distress it, you gotta distress all the visible edges, okay? And guess what? Every $35 order this month, you'll get a free mini distress ink, guys. Isn't that awesome? For this entire month, $35 or more. Please leave a note in the comment section the color that you want. You get to choose the colors. Isn't that cool? But it has to be in stock. It can't be like a pre-order or out of stock ones, okay? So as you can see here, this is how it's gonna go. So I distress over here, but you also gotta remember to distress the inside because that's gonna be visible, and also at the bottom here, okay? So now we're gonna go ahead and attach tape. Actually, for pockets, I don't like tapes. I like to use liquid glue. So I'm going to use something strong, probably my matte medium. You want to go ahead and put adhesive only on 3 sides. Okay. No gooey. You can use the tape if you like, but I notice sometimes if you're putting some tags there, it sometimes gets stuck on the sticky part of the tape. So I like to use the wet glue, a strong wet glue. Okay, yeah, right there. And we're going to go ahead and hold this down and stick it flush to the bottom. Okay, it's kind of hard to do this. Make sure it's covered edge to edge. Okay, I want to let that adhere really well. Give it a second, since it is a wet glue. You can, however, use the dry glue if you like. Okay, now you should have something like this when you open up, and you're gonna have this pull tab here. We can put a little tab here later, but when you open up, it's gonna go like this and reveal a little pocket. This pocket is short because we use 8.5 by 11. I would like it to be about 1.5 inches if we're really putting something in bulky. So this one is probably going to have like a couple small tags that we can put in there that will give us this space for a photo as well as 4 additional space. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and distress all of these eventually like this with the vintage photo. Okay, so and then we have our here pull tab here, pull tag, or okay, now we have this. So this is where I we did it the opposite way. You can see that. You can even put pockets on these if you want. That's why it's like possibilities are endless. Okay. And then I kind of made a separate pocket here. This is actually 1.5 inches, I believe. So that we can tuck like a little mini within a mini. So this pocket has gussets, which means that it has expansion room. So you can tuck something in kind of big. And then here I made a couple pockets for our journaling tags. Initially I had put tape here, these, just to kind of show you, but that doesn't give us too much room here. So this is basically going to have to just hold like a tag of some sort. Maybe it can hold a couple. You see how it's catching on, and that's why I don't like to use dry adhesive for pockets, because that's what happens sometimes, it catches on. Okay, so here's our second pocket here. So this is how it's going to be, and then I don't have anything else after that, you see. So let's go ahead and make this pocket, the one with the gusset, and this will be the one that has our pull out tab. Maybe I want to put it on this instead. Actually, I wanted a deeper pocket over here. So let's go ahead and do this for over here. So we have these leftover pieces. I may have to get a little bit more paper, cardstock I mean. So we'll go ahead and make this pocket. And the dimensions are, okay, this was I believe it's 9.5 inches. Let me double check. Where's my ruler? Wrong side. Okay, it's 9.5 inches wide by 2 inches. Okay. Better cut it fast before I forget. So 2 inches, because my vintage photo is here, it's getting in the way. Okay, go ahead and cut it at 2 inches. By, what did I say? 9.5 inches. Okay. I hope that's correct. Double check one more time so that I'm giving you the right measurements here. 9.5 inches by 2 inches. Perfect. You're going to need your scoreboard. Because we'll be scoring it half an inch, so we're gonna score it at 9. Flip it over, score again at 9. So we're scoring both sides here. Let's see if that measures 8.5. Let's see. Yeah. So score it half inches, which is going to be 9. Flip it over again at 9, and that's gonna give you 2 score marks here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and score this at 1.5, going the long way. Okay, so that is gonna give us our gusseted pocket. And you can do this as many times as you like and add additional pockets. Okay, these can be even added to flaps. So we're gonna go ahead and fold it. All 3 corners. Crisp, even fold. Okay, open it up to the last one. Okay, so this is gonna give us this pocket here. What we need to cut off is this right here. Right there. But I'm gonna cut it off at an yeah, at an angle here. Actually, you know what? You should just cut it off this way so it matches. Make sure you go right to the like that. And over here we can just put a little notch because this is not going to be shown. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. Okay, make sure we can get, you see, over here. Okay, I might want to cut off a little more so that we don't create additional bulk. Score it really well. Okay, you see how that's kind of overlapping a little bit? I don't like that. So I'm gonna cut off a little more on this side. Okay, maybe cut off a little more. You might need to cut off a little bit more. Don't cut the pocket. So that it's like that. Okay, let's do that on both sides. Because these are thick cardstocks, make sure okay. Very clean. Cut a little bit off over here. Okay, so that is how it's going to be. For pockets like this, I think you can use a tape because it will get stuck down to the cardstock. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, I think you can. So let's go ahead and create our notch. Let's get the center. So this was 8. Our center is going to be, so that's a 8. Oh, duh. It's gonna be at 4 inches because it measures 8. And sometimes you can't think. So 4 inches is going to be our center. Go ahead and get your circle punch. Again, I'm using a 1 3/8 of a circle punch. Go ahead and put your little, you don't have to do this actually. It just, I think it just looks clean. Okay. There you go. Get rid of all the trash. Okay, and again for this part you do want to ink it up. So if you're gonna ink it up, you need to ink that up. So I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and distressed it. And then we're gonna put tape on the flaps. can use a wet glue for this. I'm thinking if I want to use wet glue. If you're gonna use dry adhesive, make sure that nothing is hanging over so that it doesn't get caught right there. Because you want this pocket to be on there really well. I'm gonna use both the tape and the wet glue. Okay. You see, I'm letting it hang over because I'm gonna cut that off with a scissor, making sure that no adhesive is peeping out. Okay. These Tim Holtz shears are awesome because it's non-stick and it's super heavy duty scissors. Okay. Get all that tape off. It comes off easily from the scissor, but it's sticking to my hands. I want to make sure there's no hangovers, absolutely no hangovers. Yeah, like that. Both this size and both the shears are awesome. You can see how this was the original one that he came out with, and then this was the second one that he came out with, which is the long shears. And this is awesome too. You can use either or. Okay, and I'm gonna put wet glue right there. Go ahead and take our backing off and add some wet glue. Even that, you don't want nothing hanging off. I really like this because you can get a super fine line. Sorry, I'm kind of bringing it closer to me because I don't want no glue hanging out. You see, like, even though we cut it, I could still feel it over here a little bit tacky from the tape. So go ahead and kind of push it up so it doesn't. That's why I don't like to use dry adhesive for pockets, because I don't want nothing getting stuck. Okay, so how are we gonna put this on is Okay, you're gonna fold it, but instead of having this over here, oh, actually we can have it, where is that? But instead of having it on this side, I changed my mind. I want it on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it, and then fold the flap and line it up to the edge of your pocket, this edge. Make sure it's on straight, and then do the same for this side. Then you want to get it as close as possible to the edges so that this thing doesn't stick out too much from this side. Okay, if we cut it straight, it should be perfectly fitted. Okay, so there you go. And then now we can, you see that gusset right there? That pocket is deep, so we can actually put something like a mini within a mini or something. Yeah, and then maybe we'll put some tags here, tag pockets, something like this. I'm thinking if I want to make just like this, little flaps on one side, because I really don't like the fact that there's not that much room in this pocket. If you like to make this exact pocket here, it measures, the whole thing will measure 11 by 4.5, and you're going to score it at 6.5 and flip and then fold it, and that will give you this measurement. And you can go ahead and attach your glue like I did here. Okay, you can put, you know, over there. So let's think about this for a little bit. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I have a mini album here. Didn't quite finish. This was supposed to be for my mother-in-law. I'm not gonna open it up because it has pictures of my kids and the cousins and things when we went to Disneyland and things like that. So my husband doesn't like my kids like pictures on the internet, so I'm not gonna open it up. But this is kind of like what I did, and this is kind of like what we'll be doing, the binding. You can see, and all of these I've made. These are all handmade. If you guys want to know how I did that, you can leave me a comment. Anyway, so I have I pulled out this because I'm not gonna open this up, but this is like a mini within a mini type of a thing. So that's what we're gonna make right now. Okay, we're gonna make this, and this can get tucked in right here. So it's sticking out a little bit because you can see the other album is a lot bigger, so it didn't stick out. So we might have to modify the sizes here. So let me think about that for a little bit. If you don't mind this thing sticking out, sometimes it looks okay. I always like to make my cover larger just in case we have things sticking out. The reason why I made this size is because this fits a 5 by 7. This is 5 by 7. so you can fit like a 4x6 photo on it. That's why I made this size, and I don't mind it sticking up. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead with the same size, and I'm gonna make it with the black cardstock. Okay, for this one, I'll make it with the black cardstock because I'm running low on the okay, so for that you're going to be needing 2 of these. Oops. Sorry, getting my stuff together. Hold on. Okay, so for that album, little mini album within a mini album, is going to measure the first one is going to be 5 by 10. So let's go ahead and cut this down to 10. If you don't like it sticking up, then go ahead and shrink it down. Okay, so this is going to be 5. Trying to think. Yeah, so how come it looks smaller to me? See, good thing I remeasured. 10 by 7. This is why you need a ruler and you need to measure twice. Okay, so it's going to be 10 by 7 for the first page here. For the second page, we're going to make them into 4 7/8 by 7. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this way and cut this into 7, just like the other one. No, actually, don't listen to me on that. It's not 7. It's gonna be 7.5. Okay, the second piece is gonna measure 7.5 by 4 7/8. Okay, here's one. Hopefully that measurement is correct. Where's my ruler? Yeah. 4 7/8. We're gonna need 2 pieces that measure 4 7/8 by Okay, this one is going to measure 7.5. 7.5 by 4 7/8. You're going to need 2 and 1 sheet that is 10 by 7. Alright. Get your scoreboard. We're going to go ahead and score this half, which is 5 inches. Okay. Go ahead and reinforce that score line. It's not quite perfectly cut again. Alright, with this one, we're going to go ahead and score it at 7. Okay, and we're going to reinforce that score line. After this, I'll probably end the video. Okay, this as well. You see we made a buck. Okay, and this is gonna get attached to this. And you see how there's a slight gap because it's not quite quite 5 inches. We cut it at 4 7/8. And that's because, okay, let's go ahead and put adhesive on this. We're gonna, where the fold is, again, we're gonna flip it and put adhesive there because this is gonna get stuck down right here. And I want this to be right here so that when we mat it, this will no longer be there. Okay, so we're gonna flip it over and add our adhesive. To right up against the top of the fold. You know, and no tape peeking out now. Trying to get it as close to the top as possible. And go ahead and cut that. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna take this off and then put our second tape because I want this to be completely covered like we've done in the other. Oh, nothing sticking up. I think this one I might have make sure nothing is sticking out. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and taper this. Just slightly so it doesn't get caught when we're folding it. Doesn't need to be perfect. And take that off. Okay, you're going to attach this. Okay, this one you want to make sure you line this edge right here to this edge, because there's going to be a slight gap. Sorry, I cannot see, but make sure it's flushed from the top and the side, and then stick it down. Okay, so that's gonna give us this flap right here. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing to the other side, the other one that we cut. Okay, again, putting tape. Okay, it doesn't need to because we're gonna cut off the ends anyway. Okay, and then put tape again, the top, getting it as close as possible to the edge without peeping out. Okay, so again we're gonna taper a little bit here. Okay, make sure nothing is, tape is peeping out. And this page, you want it flushed to the opposite end. You see that? So we're going to have it flushed to the opposite end right here. Okay, let's see if I can get it there straight. And you see I have it folded, and then stick it down. Okay, so check this out, guys. Ta-da! We made ourselves a little mini album, and it folds perfectly because we left that little gap right there, and that will give us a 5x7 photo mat. This will give us 8 photo mats. You see that? There's 4, and then opposite side 4. So that's awesome. Go ahead and flip it. Okay, reinforce the score line. There you go. We made a little mini within a mini. These are so fun. I love these. Okay, interactive. And we're going to stick that right in here. You see it sticks out a little bit, but I don't mind it at all. I want the clean edge. Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah. Go all the way down in that pocket. There you go. So isn't that fun, guys? That's why you can customize this however way you wish. We'll probably end up rounding the corners for this. I'll do that now. Quarter inch. See how easily this thing cuts the corner on all 4 paper? There. Oh, don't forget about these ends. Just like so. This is gonna go in right here. Isn't that fun? We can do so much more, guys. We still have so much extra space where we can add more flaps. This is so fun, right? I love it. This is why I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right here, and then we'll come back and then we'll add additional interactive elements. Okay, we haven't even matted yet, guys. So when this video goes up, which will be today's Tuesday, so tomorrow, Wednesday, I may not have the episode 3 this week because Friday I'll be making a card video. So if I have time, I might even post it maybe Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure how it's going to work this weekend with the kids because they started, both of my kids started soccer, so they have games and things on the weekends. So we'll see. If I don't catch you guys on the weekend for part 3, I'll see you guys on Monday, part 3, and then we'll continue on adding additional elements to our mini album. Alright, guys, I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys are excited because I'm getting super excited. This is a fun part, guys. So I'll see you guys back. Pick up whatever it is that you need to pick up. Every $35 or more, you're gonna be able to choose a mini distress ink pad. Mini ones, mini distress ink pad in the color that you like. That's available in the store. Okay, it has to be in stock. Don't forget to leave it in the comments section, the colors that you want. Okay, so the shipping department can send that to you. Okay, free shipping is still going on. Don't forget about our Facebook February challenge. You can win a $25 gift certificate. I'll leave those links in the description below. February's theme is my favorite things. You still have time to enter, and I'll catch you guys back. Thanks so much. Bye.